Hey friends, Richard here at the Jam Space with another iPad Pro related video. In the last video, I discussed the 3 reasons why I think Apple is finally going to go pro with iPadOS at this year's WWDC conference. You can check that video out up here. John Art asked me in the comments, if iPadOS is going pro, how do I think that they're going to do that? Are they going to support all of the iPad line? Well, that's what I'm going to answer in this video. I'm going to basically answer how I hope Apple's going to address this new iPadOS. But first, I just wanted to remind you to go ahead and comment below if you have questions. Give this video a like, help the algorithm get it out to other people. And if you can subscribe to the channel, I would so much appreciate it. I think that iPadOS is going to see a major upgrade this year. Again, I gave my 3 reasons already, but now I want to talk more about how, or if I was Apple, how I would do it. Well, we know from things that have been said publicly that they have no plans of just bringing macOS to the iPad Pro. Stroke that off of the list. I'm not even going to consider that. The first thing, whenever there's an OS upgrade, is you look at, well, what devices are currently compatible with the current operating system. So all we have to do is find that support document on Apple's website. I'll just put it up here for you to have a peek at it. Now you're going to see a pretty long list of devices that are supported. I'll save you some time. It's 17 devices in total. That actually goes up to 19 if you want to go ahead and add the 2021 M1 iPad Pros. But if you take a closer look at this document, just kind of looking up and down, you can see it's pretty clear. Even Apple is really, if you read between the lines, they're showing us that they themselves recognize there are 2 different classes of devices here on this page. They've got a picture of the new, more modern looking iPad Pros and iPad Air devices there. They've got the thin bezels, no home button, no forehead, no chin. They don't use Lightning. They're compatible with Apple Pencil too. They are compatible with the Magic Keyboard. And then below you see, of course, these older devices, all the way back to an iPad Mini 4. You've got 5th generation iPad, 6th, 7th, 8th generation iPad, 1st and 2nd generation iPad Pros, going back devices all the way back to 2015. Some of these devices only with 2 or 3 gigabytes of RAM. I think it is time to really say we can no longer let these types of devices hold back the iPad Pro lineup. To look at this list and say, Apple's going to continue to support devices that are 5 or 6 years old with the forthcoming iPadOS? Well, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I would be getting rid of anything that only has 2 or 3 gigabytes of RAM. That immediately is no longer going to be supported. I would say anything from 2017 or older, I just don't think that we can really bring those devices forward with this brand new transformative iPadOS. I think those devices are going to hold it back. Anything that's an introductory level iPad, how can we expect the people that are buying, $2,000 plus iPad Pros to be using the same software as somebody who's buying a $300 introductory level iPad? They're really not a computer in the same way that an iPad Pro or the new 2020 iPad Air is. So why should those devices be holding back the upper tier iPad Pro and iPad Air devices? They shouldn't be, but they are, because Apple is really trying to please too many different users here. 19 devices, okay? Well, I propose that the 12 devices here at the bottom of the screen, they can get maybe some sort of smaller incremental upgrade in iPadOS. Just looking at that list and saying, there really is 2 different classes of devices here. It's time to diverge iPadOS into 2 distinctly different and separate operating systems. For the Pro devices. Well, it's time for things like much better file management, much better searching, much better multitasking, proper external display support, more support for different external devices. It's time to diverge. It's time to say iPadOS for the lower class and older devices, and what I hope they will call iPad Pro OS. You saw it here first. iPad Pro OS, have no idea. I think it would be really cool, and it really tells a story right away. Like, oh, it's better. It's better. It's Pro. You know, the easier you can make it for people to understand. Oh, iPad Pros have iPad Pro OS, which is a more robust operating system, a more professional and more user-friendly, better for multitasking. Oh, that's all the stuff that I want. I'm going to get an iPad Pro. It helps them to, again, create some distinction between, well, why shouldn't I just get the introductory iPad? Why should I get an iPad Pro? Well, there's going to be one more reason. A better operating system. A grown-up, modern operating system that allows us to use the iPad Pro and the iPad Air 2020 like a real computer, which is really what it is. It just needs that better operating system. And I think they're going to do it. We can't have people spending over $2,000 on an iPad Pro having to use the exact same software as somebody who buys a $300 introductory iPad. Guys, I don't really have a lot more to say. It is a speculative video, but I like to look at the hows and the whys. We all know it can be improved. How are they going to improve it? How are they going to keep everybody happy? And how are they going to serve each device to the best of its, capabilities? That's really what it boils down to. Don't sell any of these devices short anymore. If a device is capable, then let us maximize that capability. Make the introductory iPad as good as we can. Absolutely. Continue to make iPadOS better. But let's separate the lineup, just like they did with iOS became iOS and iPadOS. They recognized, an iPhone and an iPad Pro, they are very different, and they separated the operating system into two different classes, iOS and iPadOS. And now here we are only a few years later now, and it's time to say again, you know what, an introductory level iPad or an iPad Pro from 2015 or 2016, they're really just not in the same class as a new iPad Pro. And it's time to have iPadOS for the lower class devices and iPad Pro OS for all of these modern, capable devices. These new iPad Pros are going to be beasts. They just need a better OS. I think Apple can do it, and I sure hope they do. I hope everybody gets their iPad Pros real soon. Let me know in the comments if you think this is going to happen, if you think I'm a dreamer. Diverging opinions are totally cool. Give us a like. Let's get this video out to more people. The algorithm loves it when the likes are pouring in. Keep subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have 200 subscribers. So, Richard here at the Jam Space. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.